Dear friends, after completion of several aspects of reproduction in lower and higher animals, today we want to discuss most important process, that is gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is the process of formation of haploid gametes from the undifferentiated diploid germ cells in the gonads for sexual reproduction. Gametogenesis is of two types, that is spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the process of formation of sperm, while oogenesis is the process of formation of egg or ova. So, first concentrate on the process, that is spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is a continuous process, but for convenience is often divided into two stages. That is, formation of spermatids from the undifferentiated germ cells called spermatidogenesis, and formation of spermatozoa from spermatids, it is termed as a spermiogenesis. Now, concentrate on the first step, that is the spermatidogenesis. Spermatidogenesis in spermatogenesis completed with the help of three phases, that is multiplication phase, growth phase, and third maturation phase. So these are the three phases: multiplication phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. Now first, that is the multiplication phase. In this phase, rapid mitotic division of primordial germ cells of testes to form large number of diploid spermatogonia, or it is termed as a sperm mother cells. These sperm mother cells are of two types, that is A type and B type. A type sperm mother cells divide rapidly mitotically and get converted involved in the spermatogenesis, while B type cells form the precursors for the next spermatogenesis. Now growth phase. Growth phase is the phase in which diploid spermatogonium increase in size by the accumulation of nutritive material in the cytoplasm. In this stage, we can observe the replication of DNA also. The enlarged diploid cell is called as primary spermatocytes. Growth phase of spermatogenesis is very short duration as compared to oogenesis. Now third phase, that is the maturation phase, also termed as a meiotic phase. This meiotic phase completed with the two events, that is meiosis first and meiosis second. Now that is the meiotic first division, in which primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis first and to form the two haploid cells called the secondary spermatocyte. Each secondary spermatocyte undergo meiosis second, which is equational division to form the two haploid spermatids. At the end of maturation phase, from one primary spermatocyte, four haploid spermatid will be produced. Now, spermatids are the immotile cells. This spermatid enters into the next process, that is spermiogenesis. This spermatid undergo the metamorphosis and receives the nutrition from the Sertoli cells or nerve cells. The transformation of spermatid into the spermatozoa is termed as spermiogenesis. During spermiogenesis, two types of sperm are produced, such as androsome and gynosome. If sperm consists the X chromosome, then it is termed as a gynosome, and if it is consists the Y chromosome, then it is termed as a androsome. Now we want to focus on the hormonal control of spermatogenesis. How the process of spermatogenesis regulated by the several hormones. The most important hormones secreted by the hypothalamus, that is the GnRH, gonadotropic releasing hormone. This gonadotropic releasing hormone stimulates anterior pituitary or delta basophils, and these delta basophils, under the influence of GnRH, secretes the FSH and LH. LH in male, also termed as a ICSH. FSH causes Sertoli cells to secrete the androgen binding protein and inhibin. At the same time, FSH stimulates the process, that is the spermatogenesis, while LH or interstitial cell stimulating hormone stimulate the interstitial cells or Leydig cells, and these interstitial cells or Leydig cell secretes the hormone, that is the testosterone. This testosterone regulates the growth and development of reproductive tract and other associated organ, while the androgen binding protein helps for formation of the concentration of the testosterone in the seminiferous tubule or testes, while inhibin inhibits the gonadotropic releasing hormone and LH production by negative feedback mechanism. So in this way, the hormones control the event of spermatogenesis. Next point, that is the significance of spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis have three significant points. That is the first, during spermatogenesis, one spermatogonium produces four sperms. Second, sperms have half the number of chromosomes, that is haploid condition. After fertilization, diploid chromosome number is restored in the zygote. It maintains the chromosome number of the species. And third, during meiosis, first crossing over takes place, which brings about the variation. So the spermatogenesis process have the three significance. Now, as a result of spermatogenesis, we found that there is formation of the sperm, also termed as a spermatozoon. The sperm is the haploid male gamete which is discovered by the scientist Leeuwenhoek. Sperm is the microscopic filament-like structure having average length. It is 60 micron in length, and it is broadly divides into three distinct parts, that is head, middle piece and tail. But head and middle piece connected by short indistinct portion, that is the neck. Now first concentrate on the head. Head consists the two components, that is the nucleus and acrosome. Nucleus contains the concentration of the DNA, so it is the 23 chromosomes are present in the nucleus, so it is the haploid in nature. At anterior side of nucleus we can find cap-like structure. It is termed as acrosome, which is derived from the Golgi complex. This acrosome consists lytic enzymes like hyaluronidase and zonalysine, which is helps to penetrate sperm into the ovum. Then neck. Neck is a short indistinct region, consists two centrioles, proximal centriole and distal centrioles, which are introduced into the ovum because ovum does not consist the centriole. Third, that is the middle piece of the body. Middle piece of the body consists the axial filament which is surrounded by the tightly coiled spiral of mitochondria. These mitochondria supply energy for the respiratory conditions, so it liberate out the energy. So this middle piece or the body is termed as the engine room of the sperm, while the tail is the long because it is average 40 to 45 micrometer in length. This is the tail, which shows two distinct parts, that is the principal piece and end piece, main piece and end piece. It helps in the most important event, that is the movement of the sperm, and the movement of the sperm is termed as a lashing movement. Now second event, that is oogenesis. Like spermatogenesis, when we compare with oogenesis is the production of ova, which is a long process. It begins before birth, stop in mid process and only resume years later after the menarche. You know that menarche, it is the beginning of the menstruation in the life of girl. Like spermatogenesis, oogenesis also consists three phases, that is the multiplication phase, growth phase and maturation phase. But growth phase of the oogenesis compared with the spermatogenesis, it is very long. Now concentrate on the multiplication phase, where there is a formation of the oogonia from the primordial germ cells. It is a rapid mitotic division of primordial germ cells of ovary to form the large number of diploid oogonia. These oogonia form the egg nest. Generally, during fetal development, concentrate here, during fetal development, meiosis first begins but stop in prophase. After puberty means sexual maturity, these primary oocytes complete meiosis first, which produce a secondary oocyte and first polar body, then that may or may not be divided again. So it is associated with the growth phase. So growth phase is a very long, from the fetal development till the puberty, several number of oogonia get converted into the primary oocyte, and each primary oocyte involved in the process of oogenesis during each menstrual cycle. Now growth phase. growth phase in which one oogonium of egg nest is transferred into the diploid primary oocyte while other oogonia from the nutritive follicular epithelium. In human female, growth phase is a very long duration, that is 12 to 13 years. Now, maturation phase. When we focus on the maturation phase, in this phase, primary oocyte undergo meiosis second. It is termed as a reductional division and forms the one large functional haploid cell called as secondary oocyte and other small non-functional haploid cell called as a polar body, first polar body. The first polar body formed during the oogenesis is called polocyte, which decide animal pole because the egg have the polarity. The secondary oocyte undergo meiosis second only after the entry of the sperm. Only after entry of the sperm, it shows second meiotic division, which is equational division, and produce two unequal haploid cells. The larger functional cell is ooted and the smaller one non-functional cell is termed as a second polar body. At the same time, first polar body divides and forms the two polar body. As a result of oogenesis, we can found three polar bodies and one ovum or ooted. Now next point, that is the hormonal control of oogenesis. Like spermatogenesis, the hypothalamus releases the gonadotropic releasing factor which stimulates the anterior pituitary to release the FSH and LH. FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. This follicle stimulating hormone responsible for oogenesis, and this follicle stimulating hormone releases the granulosa cells, while the LH stimulate the corpus luteum to secrete the progesterone, while the granulosa cells secretes the estrogen under the influence of FSH. Estrogen is essential for the formation of the endometrium in the uterus, while progesterone is essential for the maintenance of endometrium in the uterus. Granulosa cells also secrete the inhibin, which inhibit the secretion of FSH by positive feedback mechanism, and it activates the second menstruation or menstrual cycle, while the increased level of progesterone arrest works negative feedback and it decreases the release of FSH and LH. Now, significance of oogenesis. Like spermatogenesis, oogenesis also have the three significant points. That is, during oogenesis, oogonium produces the one ovum and three polar bodies. Polar bodies have the smaller amount of cytoplasm in the ovum. It helps to maintain the half number of chromosome in the ovum. And during meiosis, first crossing over takes place, which brings the variation. As a result of oogenesis, we can found that the unfertilized eggs are ovum. This ovum is a haploid female gamete. It is a spherical, non-motile cell. Average diameter it is the 100 micron. Human egg is alecithal. Alecithal means absence of yolk. And this egg have the polarity, so it have the two poles, that is animal pole and vegetal pole. This egg centrally consists cytoplasm while the nucleus shifted to the periphery. This entire egg is covered by the oolemma. Oolemma is surrounded by the vitelline membrane. Above the vitelline membrane, there is presence of non-cellular thin layer that is termed as zona pellucida, and above zona pellucida there is presence of corona radiata cells. These corona radiata cells glued with the zona pellucida and with each other by hyaluronic acid or mucopolysaccharide. So this is the structure of unfertilized egg or ovum. So in this lecture we concentrate mainly on two events, that is spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Also we focus on the hormonal control on spermatogenesis and oogenesis, and at the last we are concentrating on the structure of sperm and structure of ovum, that is unfertilized egg. Thank you.